What is plagiarism? Most FYC students have only a general sense about what plagiarism is, but it doesn't go much beyond the point of not claiming someone else's words. According to Owl Purdue, see what I did there? That's right, I cited my source. A citation is a brief note to your reader that indicates who first said a quote, when it was published, and where you found it. But what about ideas? Well, the Owl also states, higher learning involves the open exchange of ideals. This plays a role in any academic endeavor. Essentially, it is this kind of discourse that is representative of the essence of life in an academic community. What does this mean for FYC students? It means all work is turned in with the expectation that all sources must be cited. Here's a good rule of thumb. If they aren't your words or ideas, cite them. UTEP defines plagiarism as the use of another person's ideas or words without proper credit, without providing correct citation. So the question facing us is, how much FYC students really understand about plagiarism?
So what do you think plagiarism is?
When you don't cite your work, you use somebody else's work and act like it's yours.
And like it doesn't have to be like a professional or a published thing. Like it just be from like one of your classmates or something.
You know, why is it important to give credit
not
to
plagiarize?
your source?
Oh,
Yeah.
to give credit to your source, because it's just because that's just how it works.
Have you ever had problems understanding what plagiarism is?
Well, sometimes I've been like afraid, like, well, like, what if I just accidentally like write the same exact thing that someone else wrote?
Have you ever had problems understanding what plagiarism entails?
Yes, at sometimes. I guess I'm in engineering at the moment, so I guess you do have to get a lot of your research from other sources in order to do your own design. So I guess part of it was just kind of like knowing how to source those things and not taking it as your own. And I feel like it was a little bit more different in English, where you had to form your own opinions.
Do you worry about plagiarizing?
At first, when I came to college, I was, because I heard like some situations that you do your work and it looks like you plagiarize to the other person. But then I learned how to cite correctly and everything. So now.
So how would you explain this to students in a way that they can better understand plagiarism?
Well, I'd start with the thing that most students think that they know, right? What most of them know already by this point is that if they take someone else's words, if they download a paper from the internet, for example, and just give it all in as their own, or even if they have, paragraphs that they've copied and pasted from someone else's work, they know that that's plagiarism. They're not always aware of the fact that ideas can also be plagiarized, right? If there's something that you get from someone else's work, just changing the words, if you've gotten the idea, doesn't suffice.
As shown in the interviews, plagiarism doesn't have a clear-cut definition. As such, it makes it increasingly hard for FYC students to really understand the concept and how to avoid it. Conversations are taking place addressing the issue, as is evident by Harvard's plagiarism policy, which mentions the exchange of ideas. However, the issue remains largely unsolved. As of today, there is still no standard definition that draws the line between sharing ideas and plagiarism. Many FYC instructors find the concept of plagiarism, coupled with students' lack of understanding and fear of it, really hard to explain. The lack of a concrete definition within different institutions and even within different departments further confuses this hard to pin down issue. So what can we do? Well, according to Dr. Yothers, a good strategy is to work from the understanding students already have. Until this conversation reaches a proactive solution, instructors should implement the university's policies to the best of their abilities. Unfortunately, this may still leave some students, especially FYC students, in a state of confusion.